So over the last month, I've had several phone calls that I'll put into the coaching slash mentoring categories. And I want to summarize those in really three hidden obstacles that people are encountering on their financial independence, retire early journey. I actually had to face them myself and thought I'd make a video on them because I really don't hear anybody talking about them or writing about them, and perhaps that's because they're, they tend to be emotional. They tend to be, the personal things that you go through on your journey, not really the correct and reasonable, the logical steps that you can get maybe from a financial advisor or somebody that's studied people that have retired early or reached financial independence. But these are very real obstacles that I had to go through, and like I said, that I'm helping others through their journey. Okay, so this is Joe Kuhn. My company is Lean Driven Reliability. I do coaching, mentoring, and consulting in the reliability and maintenance, and dabble into being a life coach and a mentor to those on their financial independence journey. So let's get started. Number one, retire to something. You've heard me say this before, but if you're on your financial independence journey, you're 4 or 5 years away from it, and you're just like wanting to run from something. You're just tired of your job and you want to retire and you're going to be 50. Folks, I'm telling you, a few things are going to get in your way. One is you're never going to have enough money. If you're not excited and drawn to your life after retirement, specifically, what are you going to be doing? What is your what is your why after that retirement? You're going to accumulate $1 million, and then you're going to need 1.2, then you're going to need 1.5, because that final jump, you won't be passionate about it. And that last jump that you have to make to say, I am going to turn from a saver into a spender, I'm going to go to retirement, you have to have something to push you out of that airplane, right? Because I'm telling you, it's very hard to do. So define your why. And the more specific you can be in your why, the better off you will be, and higher probability of jumping out of that airplane into retirement. As an example for me, I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to spend more time coaching people, helping people on a reliability journey, helping people to the path to financial independence and retire early. I wanted to do that. I wanted to spend more and more of my time in that helping, coaching, mentoring phase than I did in all the bureaucracy of big business. I left a great job. I retired at the peak of my career. But what allowed me to jump is I was retiring to something, and the clarity of that to was very vivid. Okay, now I'll be honest, the first 6 months, I made a commitment to myself and my wife, I'm going to do nothing. We did nothing but travel, just did all those honeydews and all those things you want to do when you retire. But I'm telling you, that time runs out. You can't go to the beach every single day. You'll get bored with that. You can't sit on the couch and watch TV every day. You can't just read books every day. What specifically are you going to do? That's your why, okay? And that's retiring to something, not from something, okay? That's very critical. Obstacle number two, I'm calling the big wait. This is when your fire numbers, your math works out for retirement, but it's 5 years from now, and it's in your same job. And so what do you do with that obstacle, that chasm of 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, whatever it happens to be for you? What do you do with that? Do you just put in your time? Hey, folks, I don't like that at all. Don't like putting in your time. Life is short. You don't want to just give up on 5 years of your life. I've seen a couple answers for this, and I'll give the answer for me that I used when I knew I was very close to retirement. It was, what did I want my legacy to be? So, the last 4 or 5 years of your career, what do you want your legacy to be? When you leave 2, 3, 5 years later, what do you want people to say about Joe? And to me, I was extremely passionate about leadership and building leaders. And to me, fundamental belief is if you're in a leadership position and you're not building leaders, you don't have a structure for building talent, finding talent, developing talent, very structured, If you're not doing that, you're not a leader. And I'll just be blunt, telling you that to your face. So I actually helped create, I was actually the main idea person and main executor of this, but it was, I created something called Alcoa University. Alcoa was the company I retired from, and we created a leadership school. And we had, I think, 72 different classes on leadership taught by the leadership team. I taught 5 classes. One of them was how to lead safety, as a leader of a department or a leader of a crew, or even leader of a plant. How to lead safety. How to drive reliability excellence at your plant was another subject I taught. So we had every member of the leadership team taught 4 or 5 classes. Even some of the second level supervisors taught classes. We created a leadership factory, okay? That was just one of the things that I wanted to create as my legacy is Joe builds leaders. I built a structure that can exist without me after I leave to further build leaders. So that was the legacy that I was trying to create. It gave me some excitement, some reason to get up in the morning, be passionate about going to work. Still did my normal job, but I wanted to leave something behind, and I wanted to show people a better way and what leaders do, okay? So another option for you may be, hey, man, I don't want to work at the same job. Get another job. Maybe you can get a job that you can work part-time and retire now, from your, 50-hour week job, retire to something that's maybe 30 hours a week. Yeah, you may have to work that 6, 8, 9 more years, but it gives you a 4-day, 5-day weekend every single week. Maybe that can help you through this big weight. But the big weight is actually painful, and even if you have a passionate why or what you're retiring to, you don't want to just put your life on hold for 5 years. And so I help people through that. Okay, so does that make sense? That was number 2. The big Before I give obstacle number 3, I want to talk about a few services I provide. If you hit the show more button in the text below, you'll see a few services I'm providing, and this comes based on pull from my audience. Number 1 is on resume writing. I see a lot of terrible resumes, and I've took it upon myself to say, here's what a good resume looks like. Here's what a great resume looks like and why. Number 2, interview skills. Folks, you wouldn't believe the number of pitiful interviews that people give. Sitting on the other side of the table, I've crafted what a killer interview looks like, how you can just blow it away and look completely different than the rest of the candidates. It's amazing how simple it is. I explain why. It's all in preparation. I got that in a document. Hit the link below. The last thing I'll offer is, mentoring, coaching, and consulting services, okay? Hit that link below. A lot of people are looking for a mentor to share their experiences, and that's what I'm doing in these videos. Also a coach, somebody that challenges you and helps you with a good plan. And other people need a consultant, a subject matter expert to come in and help them. And that in particular with reliability and maintenance, that's where I'm a subject matter expert, plant management kind of things. So I offer all those services below. And this month, 100% of my revenue is going towards charity. Okay, number 3, obstacle, hidden, okay? One word, loneliness. And don't sign off here. This is a big deal. Folks, you on your financial independence journey, it's a lonely game. Your friends aren't there to support you. They think you're crazy. Your parents think you're crazy. Your colleagues think you're crazy. You look on YouTube for support. You wouldn't believe the number of people that are disclosing personal information in the comments in an email to me, wanting my help, okay? And that's why I created the link below that, you can get a hold of me and spend an hour with me. But it is a very lonely game, financial independence, retire early. The lonely piece is your plan and your actions and your emotions that you're going through. And is this the right step? Seeking affirmation that, hey, does this make sense? I know that my financial advisor and all the people on YouTube, all those people that study others and are, you pay them to give you the financial steps. They're not going through it. They're not going through it, and they haven't gone through it. They're studying other people, and they've got a great offering, but they're not retired. and so there's a gap there, and that process I've found to be lonely. One of the things I've done about that is I formed a financial independence group, and I've talked about them before. It's just two other guys. We get together and intimately share our details. We don't hold anything back. So I got a great team of people that we're sharing things with. The same thing applies to leadership. When you're a plant manager, it's a lonely job. When you're a department manager, driving change, driving culture change, assembling a team, it's a lonely game. And if you have a mentor, you have a coach, you can go through it so much faster and without the obstacles and without the mistakes, just somebody to bounce things off of. That may not be your boss because you don't want to expose a weakness. You want a safe space. So I'm providing a couple services there. So loneliness is a big deal. So there you go, folks. Those are my 3 hidden obstacles to financial independence, retiring early. Big deal. This is Joe out.